So I started to get ready and I figured, why not do it with you guys, my homies. Homies. Okay, so I primed my face with Natasha Denona Prime Magic Primer Anti-Shine Flawless Face Base. And under my eyes, I know it looks crazy, I'm using the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in G Medium 3. I bought G Medium 2 also, and I like this shade better because I feel like the 3 is a little bit, it's definitely lighter, but you guys know that I like my concealer to pretty much match or be very close to my skin tone. I don't like it to be super bright under my eye. So that's what we're working with. And I'm really surprised with this concealer. It's not full coverage, it's medium coverage, but you can layer it. And I feel like that you can't get a ton more coverage out of it, but it never looks heavy or thick. And the other thing that really surprised me about this was that it did not feel dry under my eyes. And I was a little worried about that because the foundation can be a little bit more on the dry side. And so I assumed it would be the same thing. So I'm going to prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion because I forgot to do that, and that's okay that we're moving our concealer. No worries. All is good in the hood. I actually have a little bit of a migraine today. It's in this, I can feel it right here. I've been getting migraines again. I used to get them when I was a teenager, and Excedrin, back then, Excedrin migraine, that's when it came out, and I know that because I was on medication for migraines. And when that came out, I'm like, let me give this a shot, because if I can avoid taking my regular, you know, stuff, then I will. And it worked. It worked for me. And it's not really working anymore. And I'm getting, they're just dull headaches. Like, it's literally right under this bone, and it goes to just about like here. It's killing me. Anyway, I'm going to be using my Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I'm using it with the actual pump because it's not really coming out anymore. I don't know if the pump isn't working or what's going on, but it's just, it hasn't been working for me. So yeah, a little just came out, would be my luck. I'm going to use this dirty sponge. This is a Moisturizer-St sponge. And I'm just going to apply this all over my face. So I had a gig that I did yesterday, and they were women who, they were older. They were in their late 40s, I think. And they were just, they're not women that wear makeup. And one of them was getting married, and the other one was a sister. So the sister was older. And everything, even from the day I did the trial, it was like, it's too much, I don't wear makeup. Well, of course it's going to be too much. You don't wear any makeup. And so, you know, of course you go into the reasons for why it has to be a little heavier, blah, blah, blah. Or why, you know, you have to maybe add more blush or bronzer. So since I did the bride on the day of the trial, and I didn't meet the sister until yesterday, I went through the same thing with the sister. So the good thing was that the photographer was already there, and already I had done the minimal because they had told me, you know, from the get-go that they didn't really wear makeup, and so I know that I have to keep things very light and as natural as possible. So I had the photographer do a few pictures, and she's like, God, that looks great. And I explained to her that, you know, while it is heavier for her because she doesn't wear any makeup, it's kind of what we have to do to make sure that it shows up in pictures and that it looks great. And the thing the photographer told her too was that they would, you know, be in different kinds of lighting, and the venue apparently is a little bit darker. And so he's like, so it's going to, you know, really be even darker than this, and so your makeup really won't even be all that visible. So yeah, that was the experience, and that's something that happens sometimes is people don't understand, you know, the reason why maybe you're going a little heavier or whatever. It happens. So today I am going to be using my Natasha Denona Camel palette. This is what she looks like. She's very pretty. And I'm going to start off with, yeah, it's a matte. What is this called? Dune 1865. Is that it? Yeah. Which is this shade here. And I'm using a MAC 224, and I'm just going to dust this all over my lids. I did a little bit, so I wore this palette yesterday, but I ended up throwing on a Marc Jacobs topper that just really kicked it up a notch. It looks so pretty. I'm going to take Safari, which is this middle color here, and I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to take this into the crease. What else? Work has been busy. Alright guys, so I had to redo my eyes because it was looking really patchy, and it still is, and I think it's for me wearing makeup. It's my eyes. I just took it off, reapplied everything. It looks a little bit better, but it's still definitely textured, and it's got to be that. My eyes are probably a little irritated. So I'm going to be using this Pat McGrath palette. One of my friends actually bought this for me, one of my work friends. It was her little thank you for, I guess like some of the help I've given her at work. Love it anyway. But I'm going to use this color here, and the reason why I'm not showing it to you guys is because the green actually came broken, and I kind of pressed it back together. It's still really messed up, and that was the color I was most excited about. So Sephora's sending me a new one. So I'm taking that really pretty brown shade, and with the 224 I'm just taking that in the crease, and this is what I did yesterday. So I'm glad that I took off the Safari palette, because I feel like the Safari palette, I need a little bit of warmth when I use it. So this is like the perfect little hint of warmth. Otherwise it just looks like the colors to me all look the same when I apply them. So I just need a tad bit of warmth. But I love the Safari, or not the Safari palette. I love the Camel palette. When it first came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love like that mustardy camel color. And when I saw that palette, I'm like, yes. Uninterrupted by MAC is probably by far my favorite shadow. I used to wear that all the time when I worked at MAC. And I just I bought extra ones when they relaunched them, but they were in the smaller pans. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with Safari, which is the middle shade. And I'm going to use my 224 as always. So I was thinking yesterday after my gig, like what's going to happen when it's time to replace some of my brushes. Just because there is this powder brush that I love, and my brushes for the most part are MAC. I would probably say 95% of my brushes are MAC, and I was thinking like, what am I going to do when it's time to replace them? Am I, like the brush company that I have hair everywhere. The brush company that I have really been enjoying is Smith Cosmetics, but they're pricey, and to replace, I literally have, I would say probably like over 50 brushes in my kit. I'm going to take this outer shade color, and I'm like, what's going to happen when I have to replace them, because that I want a really great quality brush, and I feel like if and when you're ready to invest, in a makeup tool, I would say definitely your brushes, especially as a makeup artist. And you guys have heard me say that MAC brushes were definitely my favorite brushes. And unfortunately, with the change in hair type, I'm going to use this color here. It's a shimmery shade with my finger. The quality is absent. Like, they don't compare to, you know, the quality that they had before, and it's very disappointing. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. So if you guys have any other brush companies that you really love and that you really stand by, let me know, because I need to really start giving this some thought and planning. Because again, looking at that one powder brush, I'm like, wow, it's just, I literally had some of those. I've been doing makeup for about 12 years now, and I've had some of those since day one. So I take care of them. I deep clean them. I lay them flat to dry. I don't abuse them. You know, like I really take care of my brushes. But, you know, natural wear and tear. I've had a few that the ferrule just kind of eventually gives out, and it's not, again, because I, you know, have water getting into the ferrule. It's just, they're old. Alright guys, I am going to do my eyebrows, do some mascara. I'm going to be using my Milk Kush mascara, and then I will be right back to finish this look. So I'm going to take Costa Riche by MAC, and I'm going to smudge this on my lower lash line. My favorite eyeliner. I will tell you guys that Pat McGrath makes a really great liner too, and it's really similar in color. It's just a little bit warmer, and I love it, but there's just nothing like Costa Riche, man. I'm going to take this amazing brush by Smith Cosmetics, and I'm going to take this warm camel shade on the outside, and I'm just going to smudge this on my lower lash line. Part of me really wants to add that topper to my lids because this is pretty, but that Marc Jacobs topper really makes everything perfect. Where is it? I'm gonna need a minute to find it, but we are going to use this NARS cheek palette that I absolutely love, and we are going to use this highlighter. I'm gonna take this brush. This is a Sephora, I think it was a Chikuhodo. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to apply the highlighter to my cheeks. These highlighters, well, this formula, this palette is like super thin, and it just ends up looking like a glaze on your cheek once you wet it. I love it. I've been using my NARS Laguna brush with, of course, my Becca Everything brush. I love this brush for contouring. I just got a glimpse of my Pat McGrath palette. My Bronze Seduction? I don't remember what it is. Yeah, Bronze Seduction. The little one is Bronze Seduction Temptation, I think. Guys, that palette makes me so happy. It's like perfection. It's everything you've ever wanted, trust me. I'm going to take my MAC blush brush. This is, I think, 137. Yep. And I've been using these two mixed together. I really love the combination. I've tried the darker ones too, and they're pretty. They're just a little intense, and I don't want a really intense blush. The more I'm doing this, the more I'm thinking I am going to use that topper. Now, I'm going to mist my face with this Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. We're going to let that set, and in the meantime, I am going to look for that Marc Jacobs topper because go big or go home. I'll be right back. Guess what I found? This one is the topper in they call it the sequins in Topaz Flash. So I have this one and a champagne colored one. I actually bought them for my friend's wedding, and I did end up using my Pat McGrath Labs bronze palette, and then I took the gold champagne color and just intensified the glitter. But look at this little girl.
Oh, hey!
She's gorgeous. She's like a smoky taupe with green, gold, and purple specks of glitter. It's beautiful. Let me see if you can get.
Oh.
It's beautiful. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to tap it. Yes. Right over that gold. And then we're going to take it all on the lid. She is beautiful and she loves me. It's gorgeous. I'm glad I got this one. It reminds me a little bit of like a Pat McGrath shadow. It's got like, there's just so much in this shadow. Like there's pink, gold, green. The green is subtle. Maybe it's the gold I'm picking up on. I just look at it, I'm like, no, there's green. I don't know. But guys, this is like a party in a shadow. Like, it is dual chrome. It's like perfection, man. So if you were thinking about getting one, this should be the one that you get, honestly. Like, it's party city. I love her. And she loves me. I know I sound a little crazy, but this is like gorgeous. Okay, so now I am going to take just my 224 and I'm going to buff this out. And I just made a mess. Okay, so for my lips, I'm just going to leave what I have on, which is my Sephora lip plumper. I love this stuff so much. Like, it's a clear gloss, but I love just how it looks. And I think that because I want to keep the eyes the focal point, that I'm going to just leave the lips nude today. So guys, this is my final look. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.